Yo, what up, everybody? It's me.
And me.
And we got good old trusty Dave in the building. In your building, technically.
Your building.
Yeah. What's up?
La Casa de Dave.
Hanging.
So yeah, I'm going to start this right now. So what we're going to be talking about today, depending on what goes on between when we record this and when this episode drops, this episode might not air. This might be all you get to see and hear, guys. So I apologize if we don't have an episode this week. Otherwise, if everything goes all right, on with the episode, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine. I imagine it's going to air.
I can't imagine things getting better in the world.
No, why would they?
No.
This
sucks,
year,
dude.
right? Why
There's
would
not a
anything ever get better?
chance that this doesn't air.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think so either. But yeah, no. So recently, not even recently, it started like a while ago. So I'm trying to think how to start this.
I know a good way to start it.
What?
You know what Biden and guitar players have in common?
What's that?
They like fingering minors.
Nailed it.
So does Trump too.
Yeah, they all do. They're all in the same fucking group.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I've talked about it before. For those, I worked for the band Soil, and they're good friends of mine. I know all the dudes really well. And one of the dudes in particular, Ryan, the lead singer, posts a lot of pro-Trump stuff and whatnot. And it is what it is, whatever. And what's funny is like people usually when they hear that, when they're like, oh, they're a Trump supporter, what's the first thing that comes to mind? It's like, oh, they're racist, they're transphobic and everything else, like all these horrible things, right? It's a very generalized statement about Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, that's not all of them.
Sure.
Right? And it certainly isn't Ryan. He's not like that. He's not carrying tiki torches and putting on his fucking bed sheets and lynching people. It's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not him, And, but anyway, so he posts all that stuff. I never chime in. And it's funny because we recently became friends on Facebook. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. Just because, lead singer of a band, millions of fucking friend requests. It's like overloads. You can't add anymore. So,
I gotcha. So you guys were never friends to begin with on the internet. Well, through Facebook.
Right, through Facebook.
Okay.
We were friends before
Yeah,
that.
obviously. Yeah.
And, but then he eventually added me. I'm assuming he lost a lot of friends due to like the whole Trump versus everybody thing.
Sure.
And so at one point, all of a sudden, it was like, oh, you're friends with Ryan now. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he posts a lot of like stuff like Trump stuff and COVID denial stuff. And, all that kind of goes with those types of people. And never chimed in. And I'm like, whatever. I know the guy is a pretty stubborn dude. So I know whatever I'm saying is not going to like sway him to be like, you're right. Trump is this bad person. I'm with you, And so I never like really chimed in. But then one day he made a post and it was a very like innocuous picture of looked like a bunch of kids, like 20 somethings, and they're surrounding a trash can. And the trash can was like overflowing and there's garbage everywhere. Right.
Mm-hmm.
His caption was, this is the generation that, fights for environmental safety.
Of course.
And here they are. They don't deserve to talk about those things.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird.
It's a picture of kids at a
some gathering, look maybe a baseball game or football game.
And they were just sitting?
No, they're just like standing. It's a weird picture. It's just, like I said, it's just very nondescript,
Around a garbage can?
Yeah, and it's like overflowing and there's crap everywhere.
Here they were hungry.
No, I mean, they weren't even looking at the trash. I would think I don't have the picture of it because unfortunately what happened was I saw that and for whatever reason I was like, I'm going to chime in on this one because I felt like it was a bit of like an old man get off my lawn type of like post, you know? I was like, maybe he's trying out for Gran Torino too. I don't know. So I basically just said like, hey man, I don't think this is really like a great representation of this particular generation to say like they can't talk about environmental problems.
Sure.
He shoots back. These fucking kids that are getting their trophies for nothing and are a bunch of losers and yada, 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 this whole thing. And
what trophies?
Participation trophies, maybe? I don't know. He's really mad about that for some reason. Because every time a kid gets a trophy, I guess Ryan hurts a little on the inside. I don't know. But
the trophy.
Yeah, right. And I was like, it's a very generalized thing to say. I was like, it really doesn't do anything to your argument. I was like, I can take a picture of like any age group kid, probably find them next to a trash can and be like, well, they can't talk about it. You know, you could do that with anybody.
Yeah.
This picture, nondescript. You don't know how old that picture is. Kids could be fucking 40, 50 now. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like when people say shit like, oh, if you didn't vote, you don't have any opinion on like the president.
You can't talk
shit.
about the president.
Well,
like, okay.
Oh, good rule. Yeah. Like, who's going to follow that shit?
Right. It's like, dude, I have to live here, so I think I get to bitch about it.
Yeah.
I still pay taxes. I think I get to bitch about it.
Yeah.
And what I'm not sure. It's all speculation. I think what was like maybe the dagger in the whole comment was at the end of it. I said, I was like, what about all those cigarette butts you've ever thrown on the ground? I was like, those don't just disappear.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, no longer friends on Facebook. I couldn't look at the post. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, what the hell happened? And I realized, like, oh, shit. He unfriended me.
He unfriended you or blocked you?
Unfriended me. I can still, like, see some of the stuff on his page.
Yeah. But
so he either deleted the post or made the post private, which I think is...
You said, what about all the cigarette butts on the ground?
That he's ever thrown.
Oh, that he's thrown.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, just a little bit of a
Is he a litter bug?
Well, anybody that smokes is a litter bug. I mean, fuck, I smoked. I threw cigarettes on the fucking ground, you know? And it's like, doesn't mean I don't care about the environment. I was just a dumb kid at the time.
I used to burn them out in fucking wild birds' mouths. That's what I used to
really
do.
prove a lesson, right? Find an endangered species to put them out on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, that happened. I was like, that's weird. I was like, really, dude, you're going to do that to me? Like, we're friends. Like, and I think a week or two before that, there was a Facebook memory that popped up about when I first did a job for Soil. And I was like, oh, fuck, man, this is so cool because, like, it's provided me some amazing opportunities, none of which I've ever taken for granted, even now, after all this.
Sure.
Like, I've been all over the world with these dudes now. It's the coolest fucking thing in the world, you know? Like, I've gotten to see some of my favorite fucking bands, like Side Stage, and, like, all these great opportunities because of them. It's awesome. Like,
of course. Yeah.
It's the coolest thing in the world, you know?
Yeah.
And super appreciative of it, you know? And he even, like, chimed in, was like, made some jokes, like, we were all joking together about it. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome, you know? And then that thing happens, like, a week later. So I was like, well, we got a bunch of mutual friends. So I posted on Facebook. I was like, we got a ton of friends. So if somebody is friends with Ryan McCombs want to relay to him, I don't think it's fair to judge a bunch of kids about their environmental causes off of a picture. Doesn't seem very fair. Left it at that, right?
Sure.
Pretty funny. It's funny. You know, like I thought it was funny. A lot of people thought it was funny. Post just goes unknown for a bit, right? Don't hear anything from him or anybody other than people laughing about it. And and that was like at the beginning of August, I think I posted that.
I had to dig to find it.
Yeah, you have to go pretty far back to find that post. And so weeks go by. So his wife, Chantel, who I've met before, I've hung out with, she's been on tour with us before. She was actually on one of the worst tours I ever went on because the air conditioning went out on the bus. And it was miserable. I felt so bad. It's like, hi, welcome to America. Sorry, it's like 1,000 degrees in this disgusting hot box with a bunch of dudes, you know? And it was great. We had a good time, man. It was a blast. And so she's in similar mind of Ryan, where it's like, go Trump. But here's the thing, not a U.S. citizen. She's from London, England.
Oh,
and
weird.
She's very into American. I don't know if she's always been into American politics or if it's a recent thing because of Ryan. I have no idea, but she's always chiming in. And
That's another group of people that can't have an opinion.
People from another country. Yeah, well, that's also kind of like silly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not very
pay taxes in this country, right?
I'm like
everybody is open, entitled to their opinion, you know. And but she always posts that. And same thing. I never really go on there to really argue or discuss anything because it's hard to discuss anything with people usually like that. Not everybody. She did post something recently about defunding cops and how when you do that, who are you going to call when you call 911 and nobody's going to show up?
Ghostbusters.
Exactly. And I explained that. I was like, well,
it's abolishing, not defunding.
Exactly. I was like, we're not trying to abolish cops. That's absurd. anybody on whatever side they're on is not going to want that, yada, yada, yada. You know, it's all about preventing the crime with other programs, you know. And she shot back very nicely, like, well, what about programs for the police, like to help with PTSD? I was like, that's awesome. That's cool. Yeah. Go for it. Like, if that what it takes, I'm all for that too.
This was all in that post?
This was another post.
Oh, I didn't see it.
And so it was all very cordial and like, cool. We're in an agreement for the most part, you know, and went our separate ways. You know?
When was this?
Maybe like a week ago or something.
So long enough.
Yeah. And maybe that's what sparked her to be like, well, what else does Bill post, you know? And recently I've been doing a thing where I've been making jokes about taking a slogan and using it as like a joke.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Most recent one being, was it Trump supporters think it's actually delivery when in fact it is DiGiorno? Yeah. Which is like so fucking funny. Yeah. Like that cracked me up and that's why I posted it. And maybe she saw that and like triggered her or something. Sure. But then again, once again, this is a general statement of Trump supporters, right?
Of course.
They're tough. You know, they're not thin-skinned. They're not snowflakes. They don't get triggered. I don't know. What do you want to call it? Get upset by words. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know. And so then she retroactively must have gone through a bunch of my posts.
And saw that one about Ryan.
Must have been boring to see the ones of my cats and stuff. And then came across the Ryan one. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say, like, Ryan, Chantel, awesome fucking people. I admire the shit out of them. For instance, Ryan being the lead singer of Soil is a band that's reached a level of popularity none of my bands will probably ever reach. To be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. It's awesome that they did. Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Never know.
So it's an aspiration.
You write songs with 3 chords, you could do it.
Yeah, dude.
Who knows? And, you know, and it's awesome he got to that level. The guy you know, worked his ass off for it. Chantel is a tattoo artist who owns her own shop. That's super impressive.
Yeah.
A female entrepreneur in a male-dominated fucking business. Kick ass. Like, that's incredible. So, like I said, they're both amazing people, you know? Don't want to take any of that away from them. So, and that post that I said, if anybody...
Are they, though?
That's for everybody else to decide.
Yeah, dude, we got to take this to Judge Judy, man.
I've got my mindset. They're good people. And so, like I said in the post, any of our friends, they're mutual, want to get this back to Ryan, go ahead. Like, relay it to him. She shoots out, I just want you to know I screen capped this and I'm sending it to Ryan.
Like your apology or like your blank, your like status that you
like said. You got me? Like, and it was behind his back was I believe the terminology.
What's behind your back? What's behind his back?
That's the part I don't get because
can I pull this up?
He defriended you, so
right.
He turned his back to you.
I can't post anymore on that status because we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, so it's not really.
I don't feel like texting him. I don't feel like emailing him about it. And it's on a social platform, a place that anybody in the world can see and read. And just like my profile, if anybody wants to go on my profile, it's totally fucking public. I'm open about everything. So if you want to go on there, Bill Fay, F-A-Y, knock yourselves out. You can find it pretty easily. And so did you find like what she said?
I'm looking.
If I get the chance,
she said something where
on the screen.
She said something that I'm going to screen grab whoever liked it too.
Yeah, that was.
So we're all involved now.
So it says
so everybody's in trouble.
We've got
like what?
Most of those people Ryan doesn't know. 2 he does know.
We've got a lot of mutual friends. So could someone tell Ryan McCombs that I still love him, even though I don't agree that showing a picture of 20-somethings around an overflowing garbage can is in no way an indictment that that specific generation can no longer talk about environmental causes. All right, so this is pretty much already what you had established on the status itself.
Right.
The initial one that you commented
that he
with Ryan
said, and then he blocked me from or deleted. I don't know, but I can't.
And then
see
Chantal said, calling people out by their name on social media and bitching about them behind their back is pathetic. Okay, don't worry. I screenshot this and made sure he got to see it along with who liked it, which is also just like, okay, wait a minute. Calling people out by their name, like, is she ashamed that like is she like embarrassed by Ryan's like post initially? Because that's what this sounds like.
So.
I know, but that's the way
page.
This is the way it's worded. It's calling people out by their name on social media. Like, how are you what are you calling out? You're just responding to something that like
that he posted.
Yeah, it's not like
I wasn't done with the conversation.
Yeah, and it's not like you're calling out anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
name.
I'm kind of like calling them out about it, but I mean, like I'm just trying to get a message relayed.
By their name,
if I'd done it by carrier
media,
pigeon, I'd do that too if I had to.
And bitching about them behind their back is pathetic. Well, yeah, I mean, and like he chose to unfriend you and like remove you from that situation. So it's not like, I mean, maybe she just means that she thinks like this wasn't the way to go about it, but this is also not the way to go about saying you did not. Yeah,
right.
This is what I don't understand. Don't worry, I screenshot this and made sure he got to see it along with who liked it. So do they have like a list of people that they're gonna?
Did I like it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Fucking hope not, dude. I'm gonna be banned from every Soil show ever again.
I didn't, dude. So we'll disguise.
I was looking forward to seeing them next year in Joliet.
Chantel angry reacted it. Yeah. She angry reacted your post, which is like silly. But
was she gonna laugh at it? I mean, she should have laughed at it.
I mean,
technically, or
this is bloody bullshit.
And you're defending yourself here. Like, can you just tell him, dude, that I have nothing against him, but we just disagree. Yeah. And then Bill Fay unfriended you because you constantly argued with him on his posts.
Now that, like going back to
Bill,
the whole
son of a bitch.
Behind the back thing makes no sense to me because once again, it's a social platform.
Sure.
And I mentioned we have several friends in common that are all going to see this and they're going to get it back to him. That's about as close to the front of his face I can get. Unless you want me to fly out to London and tell him.
Well, when anyone posts shit on Facebook, especially shit like that, what's your goal? To get a fucking reaction?
Right, to get the attention of
once
whoever
you
you're
get
trying
a
to get
reaction,
the attention of.
You get like all pissy. And then this is the right wings. The right ringers are the ones saying that everyone's a crybaby, snowflake. It's like you guys bitch just as much. You both bitch.
Both sides.
You both cry like crazy.
Right.
Look at this. He defriended you. What a little pussy move.
And
what a joke.
But like, so yeah, and then the follow up where she was like, "Oh, but all you do is argue on his post."
Multiple posts,
right?
Which is not
true.
Yeah.
It's literally one post, and it's the one that made him unfriend me. I'm not an idiot. I know this. I remember this. So I told her politely, I was like, if you want, screen cap those arguments, send them my way.
Yeah.
If
Which
you
isn't
don't
even
want,
worth it.
I go, if you don't want to, or if you don't have the time, you don't have to. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to make me upset if you don't do it. It's all on you if you really think that.
I love what Gobo says on all these. It's so funny.
Oh, dude,
Bill, he erased the whole post right now. Stop disrespecting Ryan, man.
And my response every time is, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing?
It's sick.
And
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He said something on another post too that was like
something
sick.
similar. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
it's so funny.
I think he's gunning for the TM position for them.
Sure.
But yeah, so like it was just weird because
well, and of course she's not going to do that.
Well, no, because it would just disprove her.
Well, yeah, A, it's going to disprove her, and B, it's like, like
it's like, come on, nobody's that petty.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she would be that petty.
She would be that petty.
Know? Yeah.
Well, this is also I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that I don't know, like. She's acting like you're one of his best friends and you're like stabbing him in the back. And
well, that was another thing she mentions on there. Like, you're his friend, so you're supposed to agree with what he says. And I'm like, what is that now? Like, I don't know about
this is
that.
the most media coverage Soil's gotten in 20 years.
It's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be the most media coverage they've gotten in 20.
When she said that, the first thing that popped in my head was, I was like, dude, one of my best friends in the whole world is very religious and I am an atheist. We're best friends.
Who?
Rosie.
Oh, she's religious?
She's religious.
I didn't know that.
And like we've talked about it. We've had discussions about religion a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah, but
it's never ended with us going, we're not going to be friends anymore. Blah. No, it's just like, okay, that's where you're at. That's where I'm at.
He clearly just doesn't want someone in the comments going against.
Well, here's the thing.
Those kind of posts, you want everyone to be banding together with you.
Yeah, he wants yes men. You know, that's the thing.
That's the problem with this whole fucking country.
Yeah,
that's
I know. It's
exact
a problem with
problem.
The media in general.
No one wants to talk.
And
yeah, I mean, everybody just wants to find the people that already agree with them on like what
most of their issues and stuff.
Yeah, on most of their issues.
Which, don't get me wrong, it feels great when you have a bunch of friends backing you up on something.
And that's how humankind works. It's like we all gravitate towards the people we relate to. And I get that. But like, this is not an appropriate way to handle this. I mean, it's just silly. It's just
very silly.
I mean, all this shit, it's all like... When I look at like a response that Chantel's making, to me, it's just like a reaction out of anger and probably just being pissed off because it's like, I mean, I'm trying to say this as like as diplomatic as possible.
That's fair. Yeah,
but like most of the time, and I'm not a big political person. I don't have very strong political feelings on a lot of things, but like
I keep that stuff to myself.
Yeah.
Mostly,
But like I see
more recently,
it's just kind of like, it's like always the Trump people or always like people on, you know, that side of the table where they're just like, we're coming for, it's like Alex Jones, like, we're coming for you fucking liberals.
Right. We're going to get you. We're going to bring you down.
Like shit like that. And it's like, relax, Chantel. Like,
you're not
Bill,
doing
what are you
anything.
going to fucking do? Because you like had a little like joke argument with Ryan on a Facebook post. It's just like, God damn. It's like, and I'm staring into the camera because I'm speaking to this like metaphysically now. People who like, if you're over the age of 16, you have to start acting like you're not fucking 16 anymore. You got to fucking grow up. It's like all these, I'm seeing it everywhere. It's just these adults that like, they act like children. And it's just like, all right, well, what kind of hope? I mean, there's like no hope for shit like that. I mean, I try to take, not to like go way off the table, but like, look at like this new hotbed argument that we all have of just like the fact of like going out in public and wearing a mask. So you got people that are saying shit like maybe Chantel and Ryan, I'm not saying this because I don't know either of them, but what if they're the type of people that are like, I ain't gonna wear no goddamn motherfucking mask out. Not that Chantel would sound like that because she's from England, but
as much as they are COVID deniers, I've never actually seen them post anything about like, don't wear a mask.
Yeah, but it's just like, think about when a vaccine comes out. You know how many Americans are going to be like, I ain't trust that goddamn thing. Like they're going to chip you. First off, I don't. And if anybody knows this, feel free to fucking get me on it. But like, even if the government did give me a coronavirus vaccine that had some type of tracking chip, what are they going to see? I smoke weed. I like, I
see you go to Westchester,
eat shitty food. Yeah. And go to bed. It's just like, and everybody's like, I don't want the government keeping track of me. Why? What are you hiding? Are you running a secret meth lab or some shit?
Also don't understand. If you're online, you're getting tracked everywhere.
If you're using any sort of device with internet,
you're getting tracked.
Even if you're not, even if you don't have a phone, I could go up and search someone without a phone, and unless you don't want to make a living and just be a bum,
if you
you're going to be tracked everywhere.
Yeah, it's like they could just go on my Instagram story.
Taxes, it's going to show all this kind of shit.
If you ever got a driver's license, guess what? The government has your photo. You know, like
and on my story too, dude. Like, I hope the government sees a video of Alex being drunk, like doing interpretive dance to Pantera songs. You know,
picture.
Well, everyone thinks they're Jason Bourne or some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Like they're all hiding something amazing.
Yeah.
You know it. You know you go to work, you come home, and you fucking hate your wife and your life.
Yeah.
And you fucking pile in a fucking Hungry Man meal, and then you pass out.
And then you do it all over
watching America's
again.
Got Talent.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing? That's like you can't be tracked. And
Yeah.
what are you doing that the government wants to track your boring ass anyways?
Sure.
Like, get real.
Imagine the poor agents that have to watch people like us. Like I would kill. The suicide rate in the government would go through the roof.
Sure.
You know, if that were the case.
See, I'm not scared of the vaccine for that. It's more of like they're rushing the shit out of it.
I don't want the first run.
That's the only thing. Like,
let me get
who
that
knows?
second or third run.
The flu shots, people were having bad reactions. Man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't want to be first in line right away. I'll let it simmer and then I'll get the vaccine.
But continue on with this fucking incredible soil story. They're going to sell like 10 more records this week.
Yeah.
But I mean, so just so everybody knows, I mean, it's only Ryan and his wife. The rest of the guys had nothing to do with this. You know, Tim, Adam, DJ are their own people. So please don't condemn the band in any way, shape, or form, you know. Or Ryan for that matter. Like, honestly, like, the dude's not a bad guy. He's not a dumb guy. He's a smart fucking dude, you know? Like, some of my favorite moments of that band are having, like, conversations with that guy talking about Marvel films and fucking nerdy comic book shit. Like,
yeah,
love that. It's, like, one of the things I look forward to when I go on the road with those guys.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Who knows? We'll see. You know, maybe by the time COVID is run its course, he's cooled down since then. Who knows? But what else? I'm trying to think what else she said on there. That
was it. That was the last thing I could find on here, was that she tried to call you out. Oh, let me see it. Excuse me. She said something. Let me see. Yeah, the last thing she said was, he unfriended you because you constantly argued with him on his posts. Okay, we already proved that that wasn't true.
Not do that.
Did he ever do that to you on your posts? No. Okay.
That was another one.
Yeah, let's think about this. You guys were only friends for 7 months, and for the most part, you don't post a lot of politically charged shit.
Nothing that would,
and
really
all this Trump stuff,
an argument,
and these statuses that you were posting were after he unfriended you, so he wouldn't have seen your shit anyway.
I think if there was any argument we'd get in, it would probably be like, which of my cats is the cutest?
Sure.
I would think would be a solid argument for him. Spoiler alert, it's probably Ripley because she's the youngest. Kind of looks like a kitten. I get that. Maybe if he caught the DiGiorno thing, he'd be like, hey man, I know the difference between DiGiorno and delivery. Maybe not. He's from Indiana.
Yeah, but it's like a silly joke.
You might not.
Damn,
he's from Indiana?
He's from Indiana, yeah. So you might not know.
He tries to...
Dude, how do you be like a dude from Indiana and you end up marrying a woman that's from England?
Well, he's a fucking touring musician.
I know, that's how. But it's just like, isn't that a funny thought?
Have you heard the song Halo, dude? Like Bohemian Rhapsody.
I honestly don't think I've ever listened to one Soil song front to back ever in my entire life.
Really?
I don't think I ever have.
You want me to sing one to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I could sing that whole one.
Okay. Can you really?
Front to back?
I'm not going to do it right now.
That's fine.
Let them have their thunder.
That's true.
I don't want to get a copyright law from...
Sure.
From Tim will fucking
from 99.
He will get you, man.
He will? Yeah. Well, I would too if I'm fucking pinching pennies.
And then she said
there was one thing that it wasn't an argument so much that it was right when what's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell, got caught up.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's posting Hillary's gonna get her, you know. And I posted, well, wouldn't Trump have just as much to gain from her dying? Like, wouldn't he want to get in on that? And Ryan posted, Hillary Clinton killed 40 some odd people, just saying. And I didn't respond because I was like, that is insane, because I was like, I thought it was like 8 people that she supposedly axed, you know. I was like, she's up to 40 and she's not the president? She's killing the wrong people.
Yeah.
If that's the case, she's killing the wrong people, man. If it's to keep her shitty husband out of jail, then I guess, but...
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, like these general statements that people make that aren't very fair. Like, they say like, well, if you don't like Trump, you must love Biden, huh? Well, Biden's a piece of shit. I don't like Biden either, you know?
Yeah.
I don't, but I like him just that much more than Trump, you know?
Sure.
Like, and anybody paying attention, we got 2 fucking choices, guys. Like, that's my other choice. You know, it's like, well, Bill, how do you want to die? Do you want to get stabbed in the throat or shot in the fucking eyeball? Fuck it. Let's get shot in the eyeball, I guess, this year. Like, like, that's our choices. Like, it doesn't mean I like them, you know?
Yeah.
And I hate that that's like a counter argument to when you bash Trump in any way. It's just like, oh, well, Biden's worse. Yeah, I guess he's bad, but like, dude, I'm out. I'm done with Trump. Let's move on.
The worst is when they bring up Obama. It's like, okay, that was the past.
Over. Sorry. Like, it's like bringing up your ex-girlfriend all the time. You're like, dude, she's gone. She's dead.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
It's
like, leave it alone. You've moved on.
He also never bitched about you on social media behind your back like you have done here. And why did you do this? Why did you do this?
How honorable of him.
Yeah.
Speaking of behind his back, if I wanted to talk any shit about him behind his back, I would do it with these cameras off, the podcast off, and not through Facebook. I would just go, I don't know, hang out with my friends and say, yada, 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 fucking.
Yeah, and like, who gives
a
fuck? You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't, it's like you could say whatever. I've never met this dude.
I honestly don't know him personally. So I'm speaking on him as his public persona, him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm speaking on.
Have you ever seen his Facebook page?
Well, I had his poster in my room when I was like 11.
Did you really?
Yeah.
2001 is when Scars came out, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I fucking was into it, dude. I was in deep. I was below the soil.
So
it sounds like
I was in the lava.
Were you like stoked when I got that soil gig?
No.
Oh.
It seems like Chantal.
I mean, I was, but not in the right reason.
Okay.
It was more nostalgia.
Fair enough.
It's like, holy shit, soil.
I was like, fuck yeah. What's up, Jason?
I feel like Chantal is just kind of saying this last message because I think from the way I see it, it seems like she's just saying like, you're bringing it up again, therefore you're a piece of shit for bringing it up again. But at the same time, it's like, you're bringing it up because you're trying to like make amends, not because you're trying to start shit again. But I don't think she understands that.
In any of my posts, I never belittle them. I never call them names because I have no reason to. I'm not mad at them.
Well, she's like, she's doing this thing where she's asking you a question and then answering it for you. She says, he also never bitched about you on social media behind your back like you have done here. And why did you do this with a question mark? And then she said, just to argue you point about a photo he posted on his personal social media. It's like, no, you actually posted it to say, we've got a lot of mutual friends. So could someone tell Ryan McCombs that I still love him? That's not talking shit.
Yeah.
You're literally saying your intention there.
Because I didn't even get a chance to do that on the post.
And you could easily just say, fuck Ryan McCombs for this. That would be talking shit.
I could take
you know what I mean?
2 seconds on my day.
Yeah, this isn't shit talking. It's just like people like, it's like selective hearing shit, but this is selective reading.
It's the, you cherry pick certain words and then you form your own.
Do you really think that's how a friend acts towards someone he apparently cares about? No.
I don't think a friend would unfriend them for disagreeing with something.
Yeah. Were these soil lyrics that you posted here? Where
that's
you said,
Halo.
He's the man, he's the king, he's the one. That's a pedo inside.
Yeah.
Do they
you never heard that song? That's the biggest song.
I probably have heard
I'm the
chorus.
man, I'm the king, I'm the one that's broken from giving.
Stop. We're gonna get flagged.
Every day, every way I smell suicide.
Biden's sins how they grow within, so you tell him it ain't right. He is all sins and Trump's my reason for life. He will smell you, wrap his arms around you. He will smell you, my little liberal. Yeah.
That goes
Sounds
just
about
right with it.
Was that like off the top of the head?
He will stone you.
Yeah, were you fucked
wrap
up
your arms around you. He will stone you.
Like how,
my little halo.
That's sick.
How fast did you come up with that?
Pretty quick.
Really?
I mean, I know those lyrics from like the back.
Yeah, just thought we could make a Trump rally theme song or something. Yeah. So
like, I was hoping they took me serious.
Eddie Gobo.
If it went bad, it was a joke.
You like, hey, can we use these?
This was my thought. Like, if it goes bad, it was a joke. If he likes it, then I'm on tour with Soil now. Fucking writing their.
Got his job.
I'm writing their new album.
You're ghostwriting it.
Yeah.
I see. Bill erases whole post right now. Stop disrespecting Ryan, man. He's so sick. And then, all right, so let's go back. Let's go up.
So all of those comments, I tried to hide as soon as possible because, to be honest, I didn't want to poke the bear any more than it was already kind of getting poked even by me, And I was like, they don't need to be ganged up on, It's on my page, so of course my friends are gonna back me up, And I do appreciate it and everything. So I hid them initially.
Her comments?
No. All my friends' comments. Because I just didn't want them ganging up on her.
Sure, which is easy. Right.
Oh, I know. And but then she unfriended me, so I'm like, all right, gloves are off. Have at it, boys.
Well, yeah, now it's just kind of like...
Which, by the way, my profile is very much public, so anybody wants to go on there.
Yeah,
from that side of it,
go
ahead and take a look or talk shit or go for it.
Absolutely. So let's try this again. We've got a lot of mutual friends.
Oh, that was the other post.
Yeah, this is the one you made.
Which I copied and pasted the original pretty much.
Yeah, let's try this again. We've got a lot of mutual friends. So could someone tell Ryan McCombs and now his wife, Chantal, that I still love him and her, even though I don't agree with that showing a picture of 20-somethings around an overflowing garbage can is in no way an indictment that specific generation can no longer talk about environmental causes. Also, I'm sorry that as their friend, I don't implicitly agree with everything you guys believe. Also, if this is about me saying that Trump supporters think it's delivery and not DiGiorno, I am truly sorry. In your defense, neither of you are Chicago people, so you get a pass. Also, should you feel the need to screen cap this and send it to them, I'm all for it. That's what the first post was for. And that's what the second one is for. Thank you, peace, love, and everything in between, everyone. And then Gobo says, here we go. Eye roll emoji. Then he says, Ryan, text me.
He said Ryan text me.
Yeah, that was sick, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that's pretty much the extent it's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go much
unless you get
further.
like Ryan's grandmother on there.
Do you think you're fired now?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, I wonder if Bill's out of a job with soil.
You know what's funny?
I just
was
end
like,
that job anyways.
It was funny because to her credit, she could have been way shittier and way worse. And I was kind of expecting it just because of like how it was initially started.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I was expecting was like, well, you're never going to work for the band ever again. Like it's.
Yeah, that's like bullshit,
it's like
though.
I'm Yoko Ono.
Like a public like scolding.
Right.
Yeah, but they're not going to be working for a while. Like,
well, and not only that, but the thing is, that's a side hustle for me, you know, like,
it's not your main
beer
job.
money for me.
Yeah.
Like, and I love doing it. Like it would fucking suck if I never get to work for them because of this. Cause I do love those dudes. Like I can't stress it enough. Like I went to Tim's fucking wedding, you know, like I've shared many a green room, many a bus and fucking beers and booze with these guys. And every time I leave those tours, my stomach and like face hurt from laughing so fucking hard.
Sure.
And like, if I do lose that gig, yeah, I'm going to fucking miss that. Like that sucks so much, but it's not a threat because monetarily I'm doing fine. Like you, Chantel, I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own family business doing quite well. So like, yeah, that's not something that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
You know, plus the industry's fucked right now.
Sure.
This is the worst time to be a musician or somebody that works for a musician.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm so glad that guitar tech is not my main gig.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for my friends that are, it's just, I feel for you guys. Like, I hope people are getting their shit together and able to, you know, keep above float and everything and whatnot with the way things are.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't know. It's it's weird because we'll see like what happens.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of some other points I wanted to make about it, but I can't really think about them. It's not really that important anyway.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I don't know what other points you really can make after something like that.
Yeah, it's just like
silly.
Yeah, and the other thing is like I'm not looking for an apology at all.
Sure.
Like, you know, even though I apologized, I don't know, probably like a dozen fucking times.
Of course.
And I had friends that were like, dude, you have no reason to apologize. You have no reason to apologize.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of do because like I'm sure some of the things I said upset them.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
And was that my main goal? No. Did it happen? Yeah. Most of those were jabs to kind of like poke fun in the situation, and they might have taken it in a way that kind of upsets them.
Of course.
But that's how not only am I like that, but they're like that.
Yeah.
If you ever come on the bus and you're friends with us, you're going to get your fucking like soul ripped apart. Like that's how we are. Like you can't get shit done without getting in trouble.
Well, not only that, but
with,
his initial post was jabbing at someone else.
Yeah, it's kind of like
the same kind of
trash
post.
talking a bunch of people he doesn't even know. You know,
and I'm not like just ripping on him for doing that. It's like a whole. I mean, it's everybody's doing the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
But I mean, that's my
no
point.
rationality at all.
Yeah,
but that's my point about those like broad generalizations. Like we have to stop doing that. Like
I know
everybody does it. It doesn't matter what side you're on, and that's the weirdest thing that you have to say what side you're on. My Rosie put it best. She goes, if you look at a Venn diagram of people today, those fucking circles, for those of you who don't know what Venn diagrams, two circles that overlap. But but now it's just two circles completely separate.
Yeah.
They no longer overlap. And if you are on either side, you're a piece of shit to the other side. You know?
Yeah.
There's no gray area. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it sucks. Like, that's why I'm saying like people like them, yeah, sure, they're Trump supporters, but are they the worst Trump supporters? Absolutely not. There's far worse people than them that do way worse things, that go out of their way to do horrible things.
Sure.
That's not them.
Of course.
They're not that. I've never seen them do that.
Sure.
In fact, Chantel does shit for like animals and stuff like that. Like she loves animals. She does like charity events and stuff like that. Like
waste of time. They're fucking animals.
But it's amazing, you know, like they're good fucking people, you know?
Yeah, of course they are.
And that's why they're my friends, you know? And like, but the other thing is like, as a friend, like it's just weird that like, I gotta like agree with everything with you. You don't have to agree with everything with me. Call me out on my shit.
Sure.
If I'm out of line, I'm out of line. Let me know. I'll
course.
fucking set myself straight if I genuinely feel that way. Like,
of course.
But I'm also the kind of person, I don't think I really go so fucking left or right so hard that you're gonna be like, holy shit, this guy's out of hand, you know? Like,
yeah.
I don't go that route, but some people do. And, you got to keep that shit in check. But like, she was saying like, yeah, I agree. It's like, well, you know what? He unfriended me so that he can have one more super fan that'll just say yes to everything he posts. Then cool. There you go. You can have that, dude.
Sure.
And if it comes down to it for as far as my job goes with them, like if I'm supposed to work for them and I'm supposed to just say yes to everything that guy says and agree with him, then they're going to have to, out of his own pocket's going to have to pay me more.
Sure.
Like if that's the case, man, that's not what I'm there for, man.
Bill's wearing a Make America Great Again hat the whole tour.
Yeah. You have to wear this, otherwise we're going to fucking shit can you.
Yeah.
I need this job, mister. No, it's not happening, I got just enough pride, I guess, for that. Like,
yeah.
Some dignity.
Aren't you going to see Tim?
I'm going to see him on Tuesday. Yeah.
Are you going out to him?
I don't know yet. Probably because like they got that Kuma's open up by him
in Schaumburg.
Yeah, it'd be fucking.
Oh, so you guys are gonna go out to lunch, the two of you?
Yeah, just grab some food after work.
Hell yeah!
Does he know about this?
I don't know. I mean, Tim's an adult. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, because he might have no idea what's going on.
No, he knows.
So,
anyway,
does Tim have an opinion on it or no?
I don't know yet, man. Like we'll see on Tuesday. I'm sure it'll get brought up, but like
sure. Well, not enough.
Bill,
for him
you're
to, like,
fired.
Hey, Bill, I'm sorry to tell you, but we can't let you come on the road.
We can't let you come on the road with us anymore, even though we can't go on the road at all right now anyway. So, you should make a post and then have Ryan's wife comment on yours, and then you should have Maggie defend you on there.
That'd be sick.
Maggie saw the post too.
Oh, did she?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What did she think?
It was insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was high when you guys texted me that shit. I was high when you texted me that shit yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah, and I couldn't I mean, I just read Dave's comment. I was like, this is funny. And then I saw Eddie. I tried to find it because I was like, oh, I have to find the original post. And then Eddie's comment. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty good.
You could edit this out if you want. I really don't get it.
Oh, no. I mean, hey, man, freedom of speech.
I mean, it is on your podcast, so.
Right, but.
And you talk to him, and then people are talking shit about him.
Freedom of speech
on your podcast.
You say whatever you want.
That looks bad on you.
Well, it's like, I don't know. We're all.
I mean, I'll never see these guys again unless I whip that poster out.
You'll see them there. Better times, man.
I really.
But yeah, I mean,
you still have that poster?
No, but I have the records.
Sick on CD.
Both of them, Scars and Redefined.
On CD.
Which one has Halo?
Yeah.
Huh?
Which one has Halo?
Scars.
Okay.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. I don't know they're bad.
That was the one. That was the one song that was always on Headbangers Ball with
Halo,
Jamie
right?
Jost.
Yeah. Well, when I worked for the band, I knew of Soil, but I didn't. They weren't one of the bands that was ever on my radar. For whatever reason, and it was funny. Like I remember one of the first days, like we were talking, and Tim was just like, "Yeah, man, like this song, right?" And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "That was like a big hit. What about this one?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, sorry." Yeah. He's like, "What the hell, man?" I was like, "Sorry."
Well, are you supposed to be a fan if you work for them?
I don't know. Yeah, like maybe that'll be their.
Sure, obviously, they don't give a shit.
No, they've sold their records. They've done very well. They did still tour. Who knows now?
Yeah.
If they get mad at me, I mean, I've sold 5 records, so
pretty sick.
Yeah.
They shouldn't really be taking what I say to heart either.
Yeah, bitches take the walk.
They run Headbangers Ball, dude.
Yeah.
And they have Ride or Die Girls, apparently.
Do they?
Well,
oh, yeah. Well, Chantal?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Chantal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a bummer. Like I said, I hung out with her, man. She's fucking cool as shit, man. She's a badass. Like amazing artist. Like she does portraits that are absolutely fucking insane. Like if you guys are a fan of tattoo and artwork, I
hate them.
Fair enough. I go find her on Instagram, and I don't know what her page is. I know she posts stuff all the time on there, but yeah, her artwork is absolutely beautiful. It's cool. And there was a time where I'd be like, oh, sick. If I ever had the money and the time, I would totally get a tattoo from her. But at this point, I'm terrified that she'll probably put the needle through my fucking eyes.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, dude. You got those tattoos.
It's like you're not getting that one.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what, man? It's so weird, too, that like, I mean, yeah, you see a lot of people from all kinds of different age groups. Like,
she's, I think, about my age or younger.
Well, still, really?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Either way, but you could see a lot of this shit at surface level and be like, all right, like, Ryan is pissed because you made an argument towards something that he didn't want to argue about. But you have to realize if you're like on the internet and you're posting something like that's a free, I mean, goddamn, it's like the rule number 1 of social media is like, if you post your opinion on there, you better fucking expect a response.
Get ready.
Yeah. Or like at least an opinion, at least if there's an
Right.
alternative one. Dude, I don't post anything political on the internet anymore because A, there's too many people doing it and I don't know enough about it to do it. And 2, it's just
fair.
like,
I don't know. Making fun of Trump supporters is low hanging fruit.
Sure. Of course
really
it's low hanging fruit. Yeah. I mean, this has been
why
like
I do it, I get a kick out of it, but
it's like the last time I remember, like,
but I have other friends that are Trump supporters, and
Sure.
I've never ever have gotten messages from them being like, "How dare you say these things and say that about that?"
I know.
I never get that from those people,
but
which is
there's
great.
also,
And I appreciate
there's
that,
also
you know?
a big
I'm
chunk
sure
of
they're
people who
legitimately talking behind my back, going like, "Fuck that guy for not liking Trump."
oh,
you know?
maybe, but like, there's also like a group of people that, you know, I mean, you could be the type of person that would say something like, I am going to disown everybody in my life that's a Trump supporter. Because there's a lot of people that'll do shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if that's always the best solution either, you know? It's kind of, I don't know. I mean, maybe for some people, if they feel like burning all their bridges is the right way to go, but I couldn't.
Honestly,
it's
like
extreme.
for me, like being a musician and knowing all the musicians in Chicago,
Yeah.
and also working construction and knowing a ton of people in that, it's like I think people are too, like they hang around people that think the same way they do too much.
Well, it builds that.
So they get this idea of like, how could anybody like Trump? How could anybody like Biden? It's like, well, you hang around a bunch of people in a community that's a music community that's going to lean left always.
right.
Unless you're like a country music star or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to understand there's other avenues and communities in this world that lean right. And they think exactly the opposite of you, and they think the same way about you. And neither of you are right because you're both humans.
Right.
Yeah.
We're very fallible creatures. Yeah.
I mean, I know smart people on both sides. I know a ton of really good people that are intelligent as fuck. Maybe arguably more intelligent because they're more successful, that are right. So
I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you are voting for Trump. It's not all these people like Trump.
Oh, no.
But they like tax laws that the right gives.
Right.
Because they own businesses.
Exactly.
And shit.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that as a person on the left and vice versa.
Of course.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, it's two sides for sure.
Like people that like get so like it's like a team, like you guys are saying. It's like the guy Trump and the guy Biden, and you're like
there's
like
so much more behind it. There's so much more behind it.
You can't be in between. As soon as you voice an opinion towards one or the other, all of a sudden you're on the opposing team.
I mean, look at it. It's like that's how the country's structured, though. We have a political system where you can only. I mean, like there's other candidates on the ballot, but when have you ever seen a third party ever win anything? It's
never.
Yeah.
Never.
It's like what's the point of even having it on there? And even like when I finally fucking really fully understood what voting was, because I'm an idiot. But the last election I voted not for Trump, but like when I started to realize like, oh, like these are votes that are, you know, it's all dependent on the electoral votes, and the electoral votes are literally not even like basically from what I understood it felt like citizen votes are what the electoral votes consider when they're doing that. Like they look at their state.
The key word is consider.
And it's like, you know, like we could have like Illinois could have primarily people that vote Democratic, and then some, you know, these whoever it is that puts in the electoral votes could be like, we're doing Republican, you know, we're going to be conservative. And it's like, well, what the fuck is the point of that then? It's just
that's an argument for a lot of people.
That whole thing's like a fucking mind fuck.
Yeah, like I'm sure I don't know.
College.
It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
You almost have to like fucking like do homework on it.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be that way because 90% of this country isn't that educated. They almost make it like difficult. It's like getting a mortgage. There's so much paperwork,
right? To make it
and
so hard.
much shit. It's so difficult on purpose, I think, to fuck
kind of weed you out.
Yeah.
And all that
and
stuff.
I'm not saying she should have won, but didn't Hillary win the popular vote?
Yes.
Didn't she? Which
by
means
a good
that
margin.
Which means that the people of America, more of them voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won.
Well,
like what the fuck is that? It's just like
right. But leading up to that particular election, I remember seeing interviews with people that were in the Electoral College and were like, I'm voting for Trump. And they're like, but you haven't even gotten the votes
from
the people. Yeah. no, I'm voting for Trump. It's like, holy shit, that's fucked. Like, that's a fucked system. That's an argument I was giving my dad about electoral college. Like, he hates it. He's like, it's fucking stupid. I don't get it. Like, why would you do that? And I was like, well,
was it not around it wasn't around forever either, right?
I don't know when it started, but
it wasn't like from the beginning.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's, for maybe there's somebody that don't know, but like, so it's basically a way to kind of balance the scales of like your middle of nowhere America versus like Chicago.
Of course.
Obviously, Chicago being so densely populated, they fucking outnumber the shit out of those people. Yeah. And if we did do it by popular, it's to be all Chicago,
well, because like Chicago's blue, LA is, and I think New York is too, right? So like the three biggest cities in the country,
But like so people in Southern Illinois, I've heard talk about, they like struggle with gun laws all the time because of all the laws made because of Chicago.
Yeah.
But they're 5 miles or 5 hours away.
Yeah.
But they're trying to hunt deer and shit, and they can't get a gun.
Yeah.
On their property because
of how fucked.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
and unbalanced it is.
Isn't it like 98% of Illinois' population is in Chicagoland?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it is like
Illinois is a big
like
state.
That.
It's not a small state, and it's just
Giant
like
state with a
think of the fucking
city.
idea that's like. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I could understand that, and I don't even know if that's fair to have other people that live in like another section of the state where like the way of life is entirely different than out here. It's just like
there's always groups that are trying to get Chicago separate, or even like Cook County has like been like get Chicago out of Cook County, like shit like that. Yeah. I've heard stuff like that, but it's obviously never.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like I feel like if maybe the world tried to exercise a little more empathy for everything, there could be some type of solution. But now it's just like, there's never any room for it. And I feel like now that's why you're seeing, now that's why people are like, I mean, look at this whole year, people rioting and protesting and shit. It's like, I can't necessarily blame them because it's like people are pissed.
People are fucking pissed.
And if nobody's going to hear them, maybe they need to do some shit like that to get the attention on them. And then like, there's people like our parents that are probably just like, well, I don't understand. They're destroying their own neighborhoods. I don't understand. Why would they do that? And it's like, they don't understand. You're right. They don't understand. And it's like, you have to use some empathy to kind of see it, that it's just like a way of life is a little more important than a materialistic thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just like, if that's what makes a statement, because that's what scares old white people and shit, it's like, maybe
they notice that
they're
right
so
away.
Scared.
Yeah, I know. They're
like
scared
50 and above,
dude.
White people are
they're
fucking
terrified.
That's why they're angry out of fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Their
it's out
whole
of fear.
world they think is getting torn down. And I've had conversations with people that age, and I'm like, dude, you honestly think at the end of this, the white man's still not going to be on top? I'm not trying to say that like as a
that's how it is. That's
minority.
But
that's just like what it's not going to change for you, dude.
It's not.
They're trying to change it for themselves. Your life's going to be comfortable regardless.
Right.
This country's still 78% white or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's like you don't think that. Like you're still gonna have advantages for the rest of your time here. At least.
That's not gonna change anytime
get
soon.
over
It's just a
yourself.
bunch of other people want like a better shot at it.
Like I heard people complaining about Columbus. Like how could they bring up that he rapes people like 300 years ago? I'm like, okay, he did one, and the same reason you're saying that is the same reason I'm saying to you. Why do you care about some guy that was 300?
About it? Yeah, who gives a shit about some dumb statue?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's so
most
silly.
of those statues in the South were put up during the Civil War or the Civil Rights Movement to scare the black people.
Yep.
Like to show some kind of power and authority,
which is
fucked. Like, don't act like these things are like some like monument that was here since the beginning of America.
Yeah, something that you've seen maybe once your entire life. It's like I can't believe they would do that. It's
when's
like,
the last time they visited one too?
Exactly.
It's like, hey, John, when's the last time you actually went to wherever South Carolina and visited this fucking statue? Are you kidding me?
It's like people in like, I don't know.
Last time you were there, you were at a water park and drunk and probably beating your wife in a Motel 6, you piece of shit. Oh, shut the fuck up. You didn't go to no statue.
Yeah, come on, man. It's exactly.
Fucking people are so fucking full of themselves.
But you're right. I think a lot of those people react in anger out of fear. You know, it's Absolutely. Like, and I mean, you could react in anger out of most emotions. You could react out of anger, and you know, a lot of these people are reacting anger out of sadness for like the way they've been treated, and I think that's right. You know, I would be angry.
Totally fair.
You know, I get it, and I understand it. And you see all these people like, it was funny because I was talking to Eddie about like more comedians that do podcasts like Joe Rogan and Theo Von and like all these guys that are like, I don't want to say larger than life, but they're celebrities to a certain extent. And it's like their lives are so much different. And hearing them talk about it, it's just like, man, they really don't get it. Like they really don't understand that. Like,
honest, it's like, I always think of like Arrested Development when the mother is like, oh, go buy a banana. What is it? Like $5? Like that's insane. Cause she doesn't know. Like,
sure.
It's like, it's a couple, you know, it's like what, 20 cents, 25 cents. Right. And she has no idea because it's just not her world.
Yeah.
She never experienced
exactly.
it. Never got thrown into it.
Well, and it's like,
and there's a lot of people like that when it comes to this stuff.
I don't know if you like Joe Rogan's moving to Texas and he's building a studio there.
Apparently a lot of people are moving.
Joey Diaz is moving to like, cause I was trying to figure out, cause Joey Diaz is stopping his podcast and he's moving to New Jersey with his family. And I listened to an episode where Joe had him on and they were basically both, cause I was trying to figure out why is this happening? And they were just saying that LA is getting too fucking insane.
Yeah, well, the comedy scene's like dead because of COVID.
The comedy scene is dead because of COVID and they don't feel safe in LA is what they're saying. But it's just like,
and on top of that, it's like, if they're just doing their podcast, they can do it anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But so it's at the same time, it's just like, wow, like, you know, of course you guys like are in this position where like you guys have so much money that you could just go and fucking do something like that as opposed to some people that are like stuck here, you know, people stuck on the west side of Chicago. And like, it's just like, there's so much, I don't know, man, it's fucked. It sucks. And it's like, people are angry, people are pissed, but it's like, where's the resolve to it? It's like, I can't live my life like that. I can't live my life. I don't want to disown people unless like something has actually affected me in a way where I can't see them the same again.
Right.
You know,
well,
like,
that's my whole, I've said it before where, you know, when it comes to like Trump supporters and friends that are, it's like, here's the deal, man. Before Trump, we were friends.
Yeah.
We're still friends. Like,
something
you did made me go, this person's awesome. I want them in my life in some capacity.
Exactly.
And to throw that away just because their political beliefs is ridiculous. Because, like I said, stop generalizing people, okay? Not every Trump supporter is a gigantic piece of shit, okay? The ones we see on TV, yeah, sure. Those are top tier douchebags for sure. But a lot of our friends aren't that. A lot of our friends aren't part of these mobs that are beating the shit out of people of color or going to fucking Texas to help build this fucking dumbass wall or throwing in, which by the way was phenomenal, paying the GoFundMe to build the wall, which Steve Bannon just got in trouble for because they were stealing money from that.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
Which is hysterical. It's like, I
didn't know that.
Yeah, that I forgot, but like that GoFundMe made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting. And nothing got built. They got like, I think something like 30 yards worth of wall built and that's it. And it's like, you think that cost that much money? It's like somebody pocketed that shit. Yep. Steve Bannon. They caught him the day before they got him. He was on a gigantic fucking yacht just kicking it. It's like, hello. Like you got duped, people. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like people even remember when that was such a hot button thing, like the wall? Nobody even talks about it anymore because everybody realizes it's never going to happen.
No shit.
There's no reality to it. A wall.
A monument to hatred.
God damn, that feels like forever ago too.
Well, that was one of his first platforms.
Like, yeah.
That was like PG compared to what's happening.
I know, dude. I know.
There was the wall and clean coal. And I was like, man, weren't those simpler times? And he was like, we could just wash the coal and we got clean coal. And it's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's so weird to me.
And now we're here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the craziest of times in human history for sure.
I mean, next to like medieval times when people are just dying at age 20.
Yeah, we were talking about that at band practice. Like, when we say it, like most generations probably said that. Like, this is the craziest time.
Right, World War II.
But like, we really are like the pinnacle of technology, like the bleeding edge of technology mixed with the most insane politics.
Right.
And the world's
just an amalgamation of like craziness.
I don't know. Is that the reason why? Because technology is bringing the world so much closer, and then all these different cultures are just fucking clashing all at once.
I mean, think about it. Like,
man, it's nuts.
Pre-internet, I'm sure there's plenty of things going on that just never got around that you didn't hear about, or even like television, like pockets of areas that you never heard about. And now with the internet, everything's right at your fucking face. It doesn't take much to find these things. And now it's just like, oh, fuck. And, you know, for people to be surprised is always interesting to me when they're like, I can't believe we have so many people that are racist in this country.
Of course.
And it's like, dude, it's been there. It's not like it went away overnight.
What city are they living in?
Right.
Because Chicago's a pretty segregated city. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've seen racism my whole life. Are you kidding me? Right. Every day.
Yeah, I've had plenty of friends that have experienced it. I've seen it, you know, and like, I mean, it's ridiculous to say like, oh, I can't believe this is a thing. And it's like, yeah, man. Like,
where do you live in Tulsa?
Right.
Man, like, honestly, where are you living?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's like, man, you live in this fucking paradise where there's no problems like that. You've never experienced racism. What the fuck?
I also hate that people dog technology all the time too, instead of talking about the good parts of it.
Yeah,
because if without the internet.
Oh man!
You know how many millions of people would have died from COVID?
Oh my god!
Because we saw it coming from a mile away. We probably would. Some states, some people probably would have heard about it like right now.
Yeah,
like in some parts of the world,
parts of the world that don't have access to
even in our country, in the 120 years ago. Fuck, I mean, they would have heard about it. Some people would still not have heard about it.
Right. I mean, that's probably what happened with the Spanish flu, and was that 1918?
Yeah, you can't get the information out fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw it coming from a mile away.
Yes,
like I mean, here it comes.
Tweeted, like, we're fucked over here. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And then they were literally like, oh, this is going to happen to us in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like, and then sure, it happened just like that.
Dude, and the people who get like all up about that, I feel like are the type of people who don't understand that like you need to like the internet is there, but it's also like half of the internet is using your own human brain to like comprehend what you're reading and like what to take into consideration. Because so many people are just saying,
tool.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's a tool.
It's like if you have a hammer,
it's a resource. Yeah,
you can either hammer in a nail like a normal person, or you can bludgeon the shit out of somebody with it like a psychopath. You know, and that's the internet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And also, like, people also just think of the internet as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Where that's like, you know, a minuscule fraction of it, but it just creates like the most, you know, outrage and shit.
Yeah.
Like Twitter's not the internet. The internet could be used for so much good shit, and it does get used for so much good shit.
It does, absolutely. I mean, it's not.
Like shit that we don't even know about. Scientists are using it to fucking figure out crazy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have nothing about.
Yeah.
But Twitter, dude, that's the big one.
I don't know. I don't fuck with Twitter. I have Twitter.
I don't fuck with it either.
I have Twitter, but I just follow guys that are in bands and shit.
I don't understand it. I don't know how it works.
Oh, yeah. You figure it out after a little bit.
I just share everything off my other social media things on it. I'm like, all right, somebody out there is probably, I have no idea if I have followers or what.
That's what I do for like business. Because you can link the accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you post to Facebook, it'll post that same thing to all of them or whatever.
That's what I do.
I don't know who's looking at it on fucking Twitter. I probably have 2 followers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I have
my mom and my dad.
Yeah, I follow rappers and band guys and just like see what they have to say. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean,
comedians are funny to follow.
Yeah, Theo Von's pretty funny on Twitter, but it's just like I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, it's just it sucks that like. Everybody just wants to like react out of these like really fucking extreme emotional places instead of actually, you know, trying to put some thought and logic to it. You know, it's just like, man, we're human beings at the end of the day. Like, there's no reason like we have to treat each other like shit. It's the same thing. It's like
same fucking rock, you know, or disc, depending on who you are. But we're all on this fucking thing together, and it's just like, why are we shooting one another in the feet over this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, why are you hoarding all these resources for yourself and you're not helping somebody else? Like, how can you not? Like, that's
people are so fucked up, man. And
so
it's
selfish,
like
to me with all that kind of shit, like, are you talking about like hoarding money
or just like money or just any sort of resources, you know, and just like building this up, and to the point like somebody made a point where Jeff Bezos, they were like breaking down the amount of money he has and what you could buy to try to like get him to zero.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was like they could feed whole countries for months and buy every top tier car and every color. And like, it's insane. It's like, why?
To me, there's like, this is my view on it. And it's more like philosophical and political, is that you don't want, okay, these people make a lot of money, right? And the left wants to take the money from them with taxes and give it to the poor.
Right.
Okay, you're calling in the government, which you don't want in control of anything ever in the history of the world, that you don't. All of it's bad every time it happens, but you want them to control it. The problem is really you're just putting a Band-Aid. What's that saying? You're putting a Band-Aid on a fucking, what is it?
I don't know.
What's that
Somebody's
saying?
yelling at us right now.
Yeah, putting a Band-Aid on something that can't be Band-Aided.
Yeah.
It's a temporary fix, man. Dude,
because in the way it should be is you get rich and you should be allowed to grow your. If you start a business like Bill Fay Furnitures, don't you want to be as successful as it could fucking possibly be? That's the whole point of doing it.
Yeah.
Why you do it? Yeah.
The thing is we have a social, like a psychological problem in this country. That's the problem. Is because rich people should be giving the money without being forced to, just out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah, right.
Sure. That's what should be happening. So there's some fucking major psychological issues that we're trying to cover up with policy.
Right. Exactly. Which, a dude like Jeff Bezos probably never wants to give his money away.
Hell no. He's
on that shit. All those rich guys, they're probably just like, I want to keep my money and I don't know what.
The thing is like you shouldn't be like the government. I mean, it has to happen that way at this point, but the government shouldn't be the one stepping in and be like, I'm taking your money. Because believe it, I mean, you could be the next Jeff Bezos one day. You know, I mean, everyone in this country could be. It's possible.
The potential is there.
It's real small of a percentage, but it is possible.
Yeah.
And you want the government grabbing your money? I mean, the thing is you don't want that.
Sure.
You have to have it now because this country's so fucked mentally that you have a bunch of stingy fucking pricks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's just my 2 cents.
Tight. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so wild. I mean, it's just because it's like we're all going to fucking die. Like, we're all going to fucking die at the end of the day, and then what does your money matter? You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have any kids or family.
No, it doesn't.
That. It's
you
like,
get buried with it like a pharaoh.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck is the point? Like, it's so silly to me. It's man, people suck, dude.
The general public sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's just, and it's like, I have such trouble, like, empathizing with people that, like.
It's hard to do, you know, like, it's funny, like, people going back to the Ryan and the Chantel thing, people were like, you know, like, I can't believe how, like, nice you're being about the situation and, you know, what you're saying back to her. Like, you're not being mean.
No, not at all. And you could easily.
Easy.
Anybody could, yeah.
It's so fucking easy to do that. And believe me.
I would have done it.
And believe me, shit like that.
You were way nicer than I would have.
Yeah.
But believe me, like
it didn't, fuck you, bitch.
It did not cross my mind to
Cancel
say
my ass.
Terrible things, you know, it's because it's so simple to do that. You
of
know?
Course.
But what does that do?
Nothing. I mean, it makes you look shittier.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like the same thing happens.
To be honest, like one of the very minute reasons why I do try to be nice as possible in those situations is usually the other person ends up looking really bad because of it, because they're being extra mean. And it's like, now you look even worse. You know,
of course.
Like, if you could just get on my level of being nice and using our good words instead of horrible ones.
Sure.
We can get a lot more done. We can get a lot more, you know, like shit together. Like we don't need to be fighting like that. I don't want to fight like that.
No,
never my intention with anybody. Like even the fucking guy that came onto like our podcast years ago.
Yeah.
Making fun of us and calling us names and saying our podcast sucked.
I don't even remember that guy.
This is like a while ago now. And even that guy, I was like,
Joe.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, Joe. And I was like,
love that dude.
And I remember, like I said, same thing. Like, I'm sorry, you know, you feel that way. Like, you know, there's other, you know, I was real nice to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I don't know what his situation is.
I wouldn't even respond. I would just been like, all right,
we don't get a lot of comments here.
Yeah, that's true.
Just send a picture of your butthole spread out.
Yeah.
Like as far as it could go.
That's actually harder to do probably than if I just said to fuck off. But,
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
You should have said, fuck this.
What's going through that guy's head? What's going through
they hate
Ryan's
themselves.
head? What's going through Chantel's head or any of those people that feel the need to belittle somebody or call them names on a platform like Facebook or YouTube or whatever? Like, there's something there. that happen at some point.
Well, I think what
like
Ryan did is less than what that one guy did to the podcast.
Yeah,
because he knew a specific. Like Ryan's doing it like it's more dehumanized. Like when you just. The right just talks about groups of young kids.
Right.
You're not really, but the other guy was like, I hate you.
You specifically. Yeah, that's me.
I heard you guys talk and I hate all three of you fat shit cunts.
Oh, is that what he said?
That's what he called
that's
us.
like,
yeah.
That's worse.
That's terrible. Oh, yeah, it is way worse. But what I'm saying is like
that's like calling just girls on porn, like whores, but then you know a porn star and you look at her face like, you're a whore, bitch.
Try telling it to her face. But, no, but I think it all stems back to the same thing. Like, there's something up. Like, there's a reason why that negativity is like in that person. There's a reason why they can't have that empathy.
But it's like,
and it probably because nobody gave it to them.
Oh, that's exactly it. That's exactly got to be it.
And why I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be treated that fucking way. Like, nobody should be treated that way. We should all care about each other. Yes. You know, like, regardless of differences, regardless of what people believe. Like, it's ridiculous to get mad over something like that. It's childish. Not only that, but that's immature.
Everyone's getting mad at each other over like points and topics that aren't even their own.
But yeah, I know.
In reality, like when you get to you got that idea from Fox News or CNN.
Right.
It's someone else's idea, and it's put in your. It's not. You didn't sit there like fucking.
You are
Apollo
not this,
and fucking like with candles around you, thinking out a real like situation and how humans like how government should be run. It's just someone else's thought that you're coming up
and
with.
You liked it, and you're like,
but then these people post on Facebook like they're coming up with this shit.
Yeah,
like all the shit I just said, I heard somewhere. I didn't fucking sit down and think about this in my journal or something. Of course,
you didn't.
No, I mean it's like what the fuck, man.
You strike me as a very.
So you're gonna turn down a friend for a thought and a person that doesn't give a fuck about you. None of these presidents really give a fuck about you.
No.
And a thought that you didn't even come up with yourself.
Right.
It's like, but fuck the guy I actually know.
Anyway, I got to take a pee here real quick, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
me and Dave will just talk shit about you while you're
Please
gone.
Please do. All righty.
So what are your real thoughts on Jason?
Him?
Just him as a person. Wait, hold on.
Still here.
Wait. All right, go.
He's a fat shit cunt.
He's one of 3 fat shit cunts. Yeah, that guy never showed up ever again. I wonder... Joe, I forgot his fucking name. I'm surprised you remembered that. That's pretty good. I don't know where Joe. I mean, it's Joe.
Joe.
Yeah. I still. I wonder if Gavin ever figured out if he knew who he was, because that was the assumption was he was a dude from Ohio, where Gavin was from.
Oh,
because that was that episode. It was the Lavisher episode.
You must be bored, you know.
What's up?
You gotta be bored.
To fucking go on a very small
or anything
like
writing bad reviews on like they're like a novel.
Oh, unbelievable!
It's like, dude, this is why I feel like you gotta have a kid. Yeah, stay at home for however long, then get a job. Just get a job. Women need or men need to get a job.
Job and a hobby.
Yeah, one or the other.
Do something. Keep yourself busy. Like
I just work in rich neighborhoods a lot, so I see the downside of someone withering away in a house with money that's not like really
10,000
they're not earning
square foot house. Like
yeah. I had to watch the cleaners all day. You know how stressful that was.
You know how hard that was to do that.
You just have no idea how busy I am. Oh, no, I don't.
Don't. Excuse me, I'm sweating my dick off trying to fix this for you right now. Sorry.
If this was 1880, I'd backhand you, bitch. For even saying such a fucking dumb remark to someone that's working in your house.
Right. People are out of touch, man. Like, there's different levels to it. They just don't get it. They just never been in that situation. Like, it's one of those things that, it's funny, I agree with it, even though I've never done it, but people that was a weird slur. People always say that you should like work as like a waiter or a waitress to really experience. So that way you don't treat people like that, like shit. And I've always been pretty good about it. I don't think I've ever had a situation where I flipped out on a fucking waiter or a waitress. And 20% is like always my tip. And then like 15 if it's god awful. Like, you know, like it's one of those situations. And like, cause like I don't need to work that job. to sympathize with somebody that's like, yeah, man, they're dealing with the general public and it fucking sucks. And you're going to deal with some assholes left and right. I don't want to be one of those fucking assholes, you know? But there's people out there that have no problem doing that. And then,
no, not at all, dude.
But I do agree. I think like a vast majority of people should work a position like that retail position or, you know, waiter, waitress or whatever, and kind of see what it's like on that side and then gain some sort of like hindsight to be like, oh yeah, these are human beings. Like I probably shouldn't trash them for whatever dumb thing, you know.
Dude, the general public, speaking of the general public, holy fuck.
What's up? What, like, all the freak out videos and stuff? No,
just I've worked in retail like out of the 10 years I've been working, or 15 now. I've probably worked like 3 jobs retail, I would say.
I remember you worked at Menards.
I worked at Menards. I worked at that e-cig place.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What e-cig place did you work at? Would Mike work there?
Yeah.
That the one? Okay.
And then something. Either way, but my mom was a cashier for her whole life.
Yeah, 30, so she knows 30 what years. It's like.
But just working at those places, like,
grounds you,
dude. It's this realizing the general public, what the general public is 90% insane, dude. These people are insane.
They treat you like you're a fucking machine, you know? Like they don't care.
Yeah, but the shit they complain about or try to return or freak out about or tell you, like some of them are nice and they're even nuts.
Oh, really?
Like telling you about their life. I'm like, dude, what is going on here?
They need a friend, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm not your friend.
Right.
You see me, you're 60. I'm 20 at the time,
right?
Blowing clouds out of a vape. You think I'm like want to listen to your fucking weird issues?
The Menards you worked at was the one that's gone now, right?
Yeah.
The one that was in Hinsdale.
Yeah, they knocked that one down.
I remember. I can still picture you when me and my dad were coming through there. We were picking up supplies, and it was early in the morning. Dude, you looked fucking fried because I think you were like, yeah, I started at like 5 a.m. or some shit.
Yeah, and I used to like party hard.
I know. Like I was there with you at some of those parties. Like
I wouldn't like even go to sleep.
Dude, your eyes were like bloodshot.
Yeah.
And you were just like glazed over, and I'm like,
I almost blacked out twice working that job. I had to like go to the bathroom while there was customers in line. Like I was like, like ringing them up, and I started seeing stars and shit. And I like got to my knees at one point. I was like, I gotta go to the fucking bathroom.
I'm not doing good here, guys. I'm going down.
I was fucking.
How long did you work that job?
Only a year.
Okay.
And then I worked at sound design the next year.
Yeah. Yeah, right by the gas station, right?
And then after that, I worked with my dad for 3 years in construction. And then I worked. What did I do after that? I had a Dollar Tree job on the weekends.
Really?
Because all my friends worked there. That was in high school, I think.
Okay. That must have been fun.
Like Eddie, Mike Bajak, Nick worked there.
Really?
We like all worked there at the same time.
Did you guys just like fuck off the whole time?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
One of our friends would go and like whack off in the bathroom and like tell us, like, I'm just gonna go whack off.
I'm gonna go crank one out. I'll see you guys later.
And they're like, hey, bring back all this stock like returned in the cart. And we were just like, you know, like the shit people returned, which is hilarious. Yeah, people return shit at Dollar Tree in general. These are the people voting for president, people. Right.
We're all. This is what I'm saying. We're all on the same page here. It's terrifying.
But we would just take the carts and just fucking toss shit, like over, like as high, like all of us would just like throw.
Wait, which
shit.
Dollar Tree did you guys?
The one in Lombard by the Guitar Center.
No shit. Fuck.
Or like if shit's broken, you don't have to put it back. So we just fucking grab shit and just fucking break it and throw it in the broken bin.
That's awesome. I never knew that. That's so funny. You guys are all in high school.
Yeah, we were like really young.
Yeah, so you were kids. That's so funny.
Yeah. That was a good time. That was like our part-time job.
Hey man, builds character, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Gotta start somewhere. I've been fortunate enough that I've never worked a retail job.
Yeah, you are.
I've always worked for my dad. I've been working since I was.
I'm kind of happy I did because I was like, I'm never doing this for my whole life. There's it's fucking
motivation,
way, dude.
You know, like I've seen it enough where I'm like, I don't want one of those jobs. Yeah. I like being my own boss. I like being able to call my own hours.
Dude, there's nothing better in the world,
you know. And
$1 million a year isn't better than being your own boss.
Right, dude.
It's freedom. It's time is more valuable than money to me.
Absolutely. You know,
it's not like you're slacking. It's just,
no.
There's something about going to work early because you want to go to work early.
Right.
Then someone telling
me like I got to clock in at fucking 7. It's like, hell no, dude.
Yeah.
Like stayed up late last night. I'm fucking going a little bit later, you know.
The only problem with all of it is like keeping the paperwork straight and paying your own taxes because all that shit's done for you at other jobs, you know. You sign a form and it's just.
Well, I remember when I finally started like, you know, paying taxes, like
what am I gonna tell them I make?
Now what I gotta tell them and
because you don't gotta tell them everything.
No, but so
only idiots do that.
I mean, like for you probably do it too. The was it W9 or no? 1099.
Yeah.
For like independent contract. For those who don't know, it's like independent contractors.
You need an IEN number, right? For yours. Like the tax identification number or something?
I don't think so. I don't know. I have a CPA that does like all that shit. So I'm just like, let me know what I have to pay, what I don't have to pay.
Are they good? Because I need a new CPA.
Yeah, dude, he rules.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is he good at like fucking like getting like all money? Your money? Like it's possible, all the write-offs possible?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I always end up, because of my situation, I end up paying a lot just because like it's a whole thing. But
what is it, 15% between state and federal? I know Illinois is like 4.85 or something
ridiculous, right? Like something high.
Like boring everyone out there.
I know. We're talking about taxes today. But no, I remember when my friends started getting jobs and they're like, yeah, man, I got a W-2. And I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, it's just like turn it in and it's like, it's good to go. And then with the advent of internet, it got even easier. And they're like, I literally just put my W-2 into this Quicken thing online and it just boom, does it. I'm like, must be nice. I have to log I mean, you do it too. I have to log everything.
Well, when you work a regular job, you get a W-9, right?
I thought it was a W-2.
It's either one.
I know it's a W something. Somebody's yelling.
I think it's a W-9. Your W-9 when you're working like a normal tax
like
job.
A regular retail job or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I did too. I just TurboTax, dude.
Yeah, you just turn it in.
It's the easiest fucking thing in the world.
Amazing. I kind of like.
And then I would say I donated like fucking 10 grand a year.
Right.
The Goodwill. Yeah, how you gonna know?
Off. You can do that like with
it gives you no money. I did it 1 year and then I just didn't do it because it didn't give me like anything.
That much of a tax break.
No, it was like $5. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this shit. It's when you own your own business, the write-offs matter.
They get better, right. So for obviously my dad owns the business. I don't. I still work as an independent contractor for them. So they do well when it comes to I get fucked when it comes to taxes. But
because he tries to write, I'm guessing he tries to write everything off, even though, I mean, hopefully there's no fucking someone in
some IRS
guy watching this, but
yeah, I mean, we write off. He
wants to kind of almost, some businesses even say they make no money every year.
Right.
Which is very easy to do, really.
Oh,
you have
set up for
it. Use your fucking
LLC and all that stuff.
You use your business credit card for everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, dinner was for business.
Yep.
Golf was for business.
Yep. I mean,
this was for business.
We write off all our meals. You know, like yep, it was a meeting. You know, and I do the same thing as an independent contractor.
Every pair of clothes you buy for work.
Well, my CPA talked me into doing it where I also am a musician. So when I buy gear, that's a tax write-off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So what's his, like, what does he think? What does he tell your parents to do?
What do you mean?
Like, does he say, oh, it's going to be fine? Or is he like, oh, this might be sketchy?
No. He's very on board with everything. And no, I don't think
everybody in the country does this that owns a business.
Dude,
it's not like it's just you guys.
It's all about finding loopholes.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's the game. When it comes to owning your own business, and the higher up you get, the more loopholes you're going to try to find. You know? That's why these fucking fat cats I pay fucking 1% taxes. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? And I was like, well, yeah, my lawyers, my CPA just went through all this stuff and just like found out if we do this, do that, move money here, move money there, donate here, donate there. Look at that. I didn't pay. I get to keep all my billions. You know? And a drop in the bucket for them. But yeah,
I mean, look at Netflix. They didn't pay tax at all.
Really?
I think 2000. I think it was I don't know if they did this year, but 2018, I don't think they paid 1 penny of tax.
Why that particular year?
It was a loophole thing. They claimed they made no money or some shit, even though they were
even.
Yeah, some crazy shit or some. It was. I think it was even a weirder loophole that
I mean, like
item number, section C, number 14B. Yeah,
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm curious because like obviously they people like that or corporations like that must pay a lot of money for people to find those things and get it for them.
Yeah, and they also have the best lawyers in the world working for them. So.
And like how much money they obviously wouldn't be doing it if they weren't saving a ton of money, but it still has to cost a lot to be the guy that sets that up for them. Like I'd be like, yo, you're giving me all the money, like,
they hire. When you're that big, you hire a business of accountants. You don't just have one dude
building.
Yeah, for
that
just
is like
accounting.
running your accounting. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, we're not at that level. I don't think you're at that level.
So this guy's good.
Yeah, I mean we've been working with him for.
Is he younger or older?
No, I think he's maybe like a couple years younger than my dad. He's out in Skokie, so that's a little bit of a haul.
You have to go out there?
Yeah, once a year we go out there. Twice a year.
Because I didn't do this year's yet because of all this shit.
Oh yeah, I
don't think you have to do it till
October.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were like, fuck it, he had set up, so we're like, fuck it, if you're ready to go, we'll do it. Like, let's just do it.
Well, I want to do it because I want to buy a building soon, and they want to see 2 years of income.
Oh, was this like a particularly good year though? Like, is that why you want to get it?
No, but they have to. No matter what you do with a building, they have to see the last 2 years, and then they take the sum of the last 2 years.
Gotcha.
So if 1 year you made 100 and the other you didn't make anything, it's 50 grand your income.
Gotcha.
And then they see your debt to income your debt to income ratio needs to be like 51 or above or some shit.
Okay.
So like if you have student loans, they're 30 grand and then you have like credit card debt that's 10, you're at 40. So you have to be making like 80 grand a year.
Right. Do you have student loans still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. From Columbia, right? There you went.
I still owe.
Really?
A lot. I mean, not like what most people owe because I didn't go all 4 years, but
still, it's a fucking.
The reason why I owe a lot. I mean, I paid every month since I've working for 8 years. Okay. So I've never like stopped really paying.
Okay, cool.
But the thing is what I'm paying. I pay like $200 a month. Okay, which is like. I'm so used to it now that I don't even think about it being gone. It's just like comes out of my account.
That's $200 from the month. Yeah,
but the thing is when you look at the interest rate on student loans, I'm like paying $200 a month, and my loan went down over 8 years like $4,000.
Yeah, right. Because
it's like all interest, dude. Like $40 out of that $200 goes to the fucking.
I was gonna say like of the $200, like $10 of it is chipping away from it. Actually,
ideally, I'd sell like I want to sell like a huge job and get like a huge commission with my other job and just fucking just pay it off. Because the interest, I mean, you're gonna end up paying. Who knows what you
so
end up
much.
paying.
I mean, that's why they fucking did all that, and
that's a huge fucking scam too.
It's
student loans is insane. Dude.
One of the best things like those dudes ever did to make money. It's just
it's shameful too. You're doing it to children.
Yes.
Like at 18, I thought I was an adult. Now I look at 18-year-olds and I'm like, man, when I was 18, I was a baby.
We were morons at 18.
And you're putting them into insane debt.
And here's a giant business loan, basically.
And it's the only loan that can't go away when you go bankrupt.
Right.
That's insane.
Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, who set that up? Like.
People, pedos.
I was just about to say it had to have been some guys
that are legit fucking
halfway
kids.
Fisting a kid was like, you know what? We should keep that debt going no matter what. You might want to say that while your hand is not in that kid. Yeah, we got shit to do. Like, what the fuck,
it's seriously
man? Like,
insane,
crazy. Like, why would anybody let that go?
I mean, I have like nothing compared to some people.
Oh, I know.
Some people have like, even if you had 50 grand, that's insane.
No, it's.
Because
think about the interest.
The interest on it is insane. To pay off the interest, and especially you usually graduate college. What do? You get married. Most people, like the typical American, gets married, has a couple kids by the time they're 30, Yeah. Like they have a good job and all, but you don't have a good job to be paying $300 a month.
Hell no.
And even if you are paying the $300, you're paying up $40 to $50 is going towards the fucking actual principal of the loan. So you have that debt your whole life.
Pretty much. And then you get like everybody, like they always say, it's like as soon as you're out of college, you get a job and it's like it pays you jack shit.
Yeah.
In the field that you probably chose.
That's a big thing with the trades, man. Like we were talking, me and my friend, why they don't have, when in high school when they had the colleges come to like the school.
Yeah.
Why don't they have
trades do it?
The carpenters union and the electricians union? It's so looked down upon, but
it's a good question. I don't know.
You make $100,000 within 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, you get those union gigs.
Way better benefits than some fucking gig at a startup company that you got when you fucking graduated college.
I don't know. I think there's always some sort of
stigma of like working with your hands.
Yeah, it's always.
If you're a dude, I'd rather do that. You get more pussy. A girl wants a guy with fucking working with tools more than fucking sitting on a computer, dude. Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
My friend Ryan had rough hands because he was a fucking bricklayer, and the girls fucking loved that shit. You would think they would like manicured, like
right.
Nice.
They don't want this.
You know why they don't like that? Because women have those kind of hands.
Get them baby soft hands.
People understand biology. Women deep down like guys with beards that look rough.
They look rough and gruff.
That's how Mother Nature wanted us to look.
Dude, you remind me one of the funniest moments I ever had with my dad. Obviously we work a manual labor job. Our hands are pretty rough, from years of working the job and furniture restoration. And we were at a funeral for one of my uncles that passed, and the priest, that was doing the eulogy and everything, super nice guy. He did a great job. And at the end, he shook everybody's hands. This is pre-COVID, obviously. He shook everybody's hands. And I'll never forget, I shook this dude's hand. I've never felt a hand so soft in my life. And my dad shook his hand and was like, what the fuck? And both of us started cracking up. I was like, I don't think that guy has ever done a single manual labor job in his life. There's no way. Yeah. It felt like a couch, like that super plush, soft, like leather. It was I've shaked women's hands that don't even feel that smooth. It was
even
insane.
Go out in the yard and fuck with a lawnmower or do something
like that guy
remotely
never
testosterone driven.
I don't know if you necessarily need to be testosterone driven to do those manual labor. I know plenty of girls do that.
No, I mean, they do too.
Yeah. But it's so fun.
I know a lot of women that are more manly than men.
These days, probably, yeah.
Yeah, for real though.
Right.
Even girls that aren't like butch-esque.
Right. They're just
Is that
tougher.
a bad word? Butch?
I don't know. Might be.
I'm not educated
Sorry
enough in that
if it is,
community.
guys.
What I mean? Like more manly.
Yeah, the more masculine females.
Like I know there's normal chicks now that are fucking more manly than
some
the men these days, dude.
Yeah, I mean that stuff kind of comes and goes, doesn't it? Where it's like, where the men are going to be more like women, the women start being more like men, and it just kind of comes and goes in waves.
The ebbs and flow of estrogen and testosterone.
It's got to switch every once in a while. It's like the moon alignment, the tides. How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know what we're
talking taxes and now this.
Jason got us all on the relationship shit.
Yeah.
Is that what he's doing now?
I'm assuming that'd be fucking ironic if that was the case. Then we're gonna have to cut that.
Unless something happened to one of his family members or something.
I hope not. He would have said something, right? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully,
they've only been dating for 3 months.
Yeah,
that's fucking infancy, dude.
Right? Would you say they should be fucking eating ice cream the whole time?
Yeah, you guys should be sharing a double scoop cone and then going back to bang every night. I don't know. I mean,
I love that. That's great.
It's true though. Like when you first start dating someone.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
the first couple year and a half, 2 years is
it's
all new
fun.
to you, you know.
Like try this, try that, you know.
There shouldn't be any yelling. That's clearly I'm leaving.
I'm out.
Does that mean imagine when she gets sick of you?
Yeah, down
Jesus
the road.
Christ, you're gonna have black eyes.
Domestic abuse charges left and right.
People don't talk about that enough. Women beating up men. That happens a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. To deny that is ridiculous.
I've gotten hit by women.
Have you?
Yeah, but I mean, as a bigger man, like my personality, I took it as like a fucking joke, you know. It's like, okay,
that's why.
I mean, if I wanted to kill you, it would happen in a blink of an eye. You wouldn't even be able to blink. The eye would be closing and you'd be dead.
Yeah.
So I'll let you hit me as much as you want.
That always reminds me of
I feel like they really know that in the back of their heads.
They know. They're like, yeah, this guy can ruin me if he really wanted to.
But sometimes women will push men to the point of hurting them, and then it's like this man's a piece of shit.
Right.
I'm not sticking up for wife beaters, but I'm sure there's been some situations where that girl was just asking to get laid out, dude.
Who is Bill Burr talked about that, where he's like, hold on, he's like, we don't know the situation, like, maybe it was like, just talking
when he's like,
shit.
Believe all women, all of them.
Yeah. Which I think we might sound like pieces of shit in this segment, but honestly, check out. I forgot which Bill Burr.
If people that think that we're pieces of shit are living in a fantasy world, where everything's
way worse. Like I said, man, it's
like there's gray areas in every situation.
Right. Like we talk about this, but we're not doing it. There are actual disgusting human beings doing that shit.
But like right now too, like we're not talking about a guy that comes home, drinks, and just beats his wife and kids for no fucking reason. Right. I'm talking about like a woman that's been beating her husband up emotionally, because I've personally seen so many relationships that were very verbal and psychologically abusive to their husbands.
Oh yeah,
like demeaning them.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's crazy.
But nothing.
And to think that
you can't say
somebody
that
can just take that,
believe all women. All the time, no matter what. No matter what.
No matter what. Their word is it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You're right, though. I mean, that is a situation that even amongst the time where we're trying to be more aware of those situations, it still is never brought up that that abuse can happen the other way.
Because it's I feel like the people that are getting abused and you're a man, you think women, it's hard for them to come out about getting beat up, and for a man to come out and say that they're getting beat up is
so difficult.
It's way more difficult because it's demasculating, and they would look like a pansy to their friends and family,
or community, and all.
I mean, what's the classic saying? You got beat up by a girl,
right? That's like drilled into your fucking. How many times growing up, it's like you throw like a girl, you do like this, and it's like you get that drilled into you, and it's like
you're never gonna come out about that.
A girl beat me up, and it's like. I mean, now I think people would be like, fuck, let's help this dude out. But if this was like, I don't know, 10 years ago, they'd be like, what? What do you mean you got beat up a girl? You fucking wuss. Like,
I think it gets to the point where they snap after like 10 years and just kill them.
Shit,
and then kill them. And then
they look like a piece of shit.
And then the news is like, Sarah was the shining light when she walked into the room. Well, nah. I mean,
if you ask one of her friends, they wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, there is a complete bias in the news right now, at least.
I mean, there's always bias.
I think it's just the whole shift because you're trying to get everyone equal, so you're like going so for this side that's been defranchised and like looked down upon, that you're going so far to their side that the whole point is equality. We're in the middle here,
right? We want to meet in the middle.
Like the women saying that all men are pieces of shit. Some chick said that. It's like. That's really all men are pieces of shit. Really,
that's the lesson of today's episode. Is
all them
stop generalizing.
Wasn't that Bill Burr too that said that? Like all men are like.
I don't know.
And then he's like, "Who created the spaceship? Who created?" He just kept going on about
some of the best inventions.
He kept going on about every invention in the world.
Right. That's all right. No, I don't think that was Bill Burr. I think that was somebody else.
It was definitely a stand-up.
I saw recently, too, where they were talking about that. Like, all the best inventions were by men. Sorry, ladies. Like, sorry, but that's just how it is. And you rattled them off. You missed a very invigorating tax talk with me and Dave.
Nice. I don't know a lot about taxes, so I probably wouldn't have much to contribute.
That's another issue. It's good that we talked about that, because if you're voting, you should know that kind of shit.
What kind of tax form do you fill out?
I fill out the regular W-2.
Told you.
That's what W-9 is. Well, it is.
Yeah,
well, I'm an employee of a company.
No, I know.
It is a W-9 for sure.
Is that what you guys do?
That we fill out.
Independent contractor, right? 1099. Yeah.
1099.
Yeah, but we fill out the 1099. But if you hire someone, you W-9 them, right?
If you or I were to hire somebody,
if we get paid, we have to give them our W-9. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. We give the employers a W-9.
If you get contracted to do work, you have to send in your W. That has your tax EIN number, your tax ID number.
There you go. Oh, cool. We figured it out.
Yeah, we got it.
Nice. Thank you.
I had when I was doing Uber. Okay. Like I was doing Uber and Triton College, so I had to fill out a W-2 and a 1099 because Uber, at least at the time. Yeah. But now apparently it's independent contractors.
You're considered independent contractor.
Yeah, when you're an Uber driver.
What was a W-2 for?
Triton College. I was an employee there part time.
Gotcha.
So I worked there and I did the Uber shit. And you're supposed to, when you're working 1099, they tell you
do your own reductions.
Yeah, set your money aside so when you have to owe to the government at the end of the year, which I didn't do. I only owed like $200. I paid it.
Oh, nice.
I never had a 1099. Can you write shit off on a 1099?
Yes, you technically can.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying.
Oh yeah,
but it's like
all gas money, tolls.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I do my musical.
You can basically get it down to where you're
practice space. I still pay a fucking lot,
but it's something.
Dude. Yeah, but I would be paying a lot more if I didn't.
With Uber,
it's like thousands.
I do pay
average every year
about two close to 3 a year.
And you're not claiming everything, right?
I claim a lot.
This is like incriminating with the IRS, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
With Uber, anyway, fuck. With Uber, it was like with the 1099 shit, like when you could write shit off, it was just like I don't know what this was like 5-6 years ago now, so I don't know what the fuck has changed, but like I know that it's like you could write off your gas receipts. There wasn't like but it was also like, when you get an Uber, a dude gives you a water bottle or a piece of gum, they're like, oh, that could be written off. And it's like, well, what the fuck? I'm spending money on that shit to barely get a write-off. Like, it's not even really worth it at the end of the day. And I never did that when I was an Uber driver. They just get in my car and that's what they get is the car. That's it.
Car and some
you don't get no stupid water. You get scary music and
so
that's
you get
it.
A 4-star.
Yeah, but it sucked, man, because like it was like the first time I ever had to owe money to the government after that. And it's just like, God damn, like I'm
you
not
ever save your receipt? Or did you just go through your like bank statement?
I saved gas receipts and then I would take those and I applied that. But even then it was like nothing. Compared to like, it took off like $10 or some shit. Yeah, it was like nothing at the end of the day.
It's such a kick in
so
the
that's
dick,
when I was just like, all right, I can't keep doing this because like I can't afford to like pay a lump sum of tax money at the end of the year.
With the music thing, do you have to claim you're like a professional musician?
Yeah, and say that I make money from gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so
do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. It's funny. My CPA.
Don't you need to see a 1099 for that too, or like from a venue or
a W-9 from them?
Yeah. Or have they not asked? If you're not making millions of dollars, dude, it takes the IRS like 8 years. You could not file for 8 years before they come and get you.
Dude, a certain friend of ours, his uncle like didn't pay taxes for like a decade, and they like never caught up with them until like it was too late. He ended up moving to Ireland. He was like, "Yep, good luck getting me," and he was like, "See you later," and never fucking paid him.
I mean, technically, taxes started in like 1920
it was during the Civil War, I thought.
Oh, was it Civil War?
I thought it was during the Civil War.
Maybe it was maybe it was state tax.
Maybe. I know. Later. I'm pretty sure taxes in general started around the Civil War initially, with the idea of it only lasting like a year or two. It was just to help with the war effort and everything. And then obviously when
saw the income,
all that money came in, the government was like, well, let's fucking keep this ball rolling, and now we're here.
Isn't there some law that Wesley Snipes thought there was that where you don't have to pay taxes?
No, his CPA fucked him.
I thought there was like some loophole where you really don't have to by law pay taxes.
My moronic father. That's another thing we could probably. Ryan could have argued about whether or not my dad was smart or not. That could have been a good discussion on Facebook. But no, my dad said something like that once. He goes, "Yeah, there's like a loophole that says you don't have to pay taxes." It's like, go ahead, do that.
I always heard that too, but I'm like,
nobody's got the ball. Like,
no one has the balls, or I mean,
the money to fight
that. Yeah, I don't think your dad has the wherewithal
to hire
a lawyer.
Dude, like making that kind of money. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, you could just not pay your taxes and hope for the best and hope the IRS doesn't catch up with you. But
I mean, if you're gonna, stupid. If you're terminally ill,
yeah, fuck it, dude. Like, if the wheels are coming off,
and then even after, I think is like there is like a thing. It's 7 or 8 years until they like take a look at you. But even like, I guess I've been hearing right now they're so fucking backed up and all fucked up right now that they're not getting to anybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm sure they don't want that getting out, but I'm sure it's a fucking free for all now. So that's, you hearing that, everybody? Go ahead, don't pay your taxes. But yeah, another thing we brought up, Jason, you can chime in on this, is like the idea of people working retail jobs that kind of ground themselves with the idea of like, you should probably treat people in those positions like human beings and not pieces of shit, you know? Like, I feel like you like wouldn't even need to work a job like that to be like, I'm not going to be mean to these people, you know, like.
Wait, say that again?
Well, we're just saying, like, if you go to like a restaurant and you see somebody treating the waiter or waitress like shit, you know, it's like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, and I said, like, people always say, like, oh, everybody should work a retail job just so that they.
To be humbled like that?
Yeah. I've never worked a job like that, and I don't need to fucking know that I don't want to treat these people like shit. But like,
I even leave this same tips to ones that suck.
That's what I'm saying. I still tip somebody like a motherfucker, even if they do a shitty job.
Dude, tipping is so important. Like, I tip pretty well, and especially places I go to a lot.
Oh yeah, dude.
And boy, does it pay off, man. They treat you like gold when you go there.
Hell yeah.
Like, we were on vacation with Maggie's friends. I'm not gonna name names, but one of them like went in to order like a cheeseburger. They had like you had to order at the counter and then go sit outside because of COVID. So I go in, and I'm right behind him, and I order our food. And then he's like, what table are you at? And I'm like, the same table that guy that just ordered is at.
Fuck that guy.
And he literally just said, which he probably shouldn't have said to me because it's like unprofessional, but he's like, he's the first guy all summer that when I asked if you want to leave a tip to the staff, he said no.
Damn.
The whole summer.
They brought that up.
And I was like, oh, like, I don't know what to say. I don't even know the guy. I just, I don't hang out with Maggie's friends' boyfriends.
That puts you in an awkward situation. Like, I guess I gotta have to like tip the shit out of him.
I paid him good. He's like, what do you want? I was like, let's give him 20%. It was like a fucking cheeseburger and fries. What's 20% of that? A couple dollars?
$1.
It's like nothing. And he was like, oh, come back here. I'll give you like some coffee, all this shit. I go sit outside. Nice. He comes out with like, this place is pretty fancy. Like, it's a well-known like tourist spot. So they have like chocolates. Everything's cherry flavor.
It's A&W root beer, isn't it?
Yeah. So, it's like pretty similar.
Pretty fucking fancy place.
But he handed us a huge bag of like chocolate, like covered nuts and shit, which is pretty expensive. It was like $8.
Yeah.
He just put it on the table. He's like, this is for you guys. I know he did it because I
just
fucking gave a tip.
It to the other guy too.
And I gave a tip. And I was like, something happened, and we were like, like in my head, I knew. I'm like, well, he wasn't giving it to you, you fucking cheap ass
motherfucker. Yeah.
So something did happen. He said something, and then I was like, I'm just gonna say it. So I'm like, what that guy in front of like all her friends and his girlfriend and everything.
Damn.
I'm like, what that guy said? He's like, that's you were awesome. The only person that didn't leave a tip all summer. And he's
How
like,
does it make you feel?
I just like left it at that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure these chocolates are for me.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Damn right, dude.
It's one thing I was passionate at, because like speaking of like wait staff and stuff, is I always say please and thank you, like after everything. I'm like, could I get this please, or this please, thank you, thank you. And I'm always curious, maybe somebody out there can chime in, but like, does that go like noticed with like a waiter or waitress? Like, do they notice, like, because my dad's terrible about it. He's, give me a water, give me a Coke, give me a cheeseburger. I'm like, can I please have this? Can I please? Like, we're totally different with it. And I'm just curious, like, does that go noticed with waiters or waitresses? Do you think?
I'm sure it does. I think it does.
Right? Like that. I don't know.
Like, I go to the same Dunkin' Donuts every day, and I always say, oh, like, I'm so nice to him on the phone, because at the end of the day, I want my shit to be good.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to fuck with my food.
Right. That's a big thing.
You gotta be nice to these
fuck with the people that fuck with your food. That's a gold.
Like my uncle's girlfriend, dude, you go out to dinner with her, she'll start fucking with them from the get-go, and I'm like, holy.
Doesn't it make you feel so nervous? And then you're like, dude,
it makes you feel like, like you get like you feel so uncomfortable, and then two, I get pissed because I'm like, just wait till you get the food, dude. Right. Are you kidding? Do you know this game?
Right.
Do you know they're in control here? They're behind a closed door with our food,
doing whatever the fuck they want.
You're gonna be be a bitch after you've done eating. Like start it off like that.
Tough to eat somebody's loogie when you already ate the food.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, everybody should probably treat everybody nice, regardless of whatever let's wrap it up here. We can
let's just call it.
Dave, thank you so much for being on the show. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out to your fucking to your basement.
Thanks for walking downstairs.
It was a long trip.
Yeah.
It's good to be back again.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
For 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It is good. We are back. And I don't know who we're getting next week.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Ryan. On video chat. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to propose this. I was going to say, if in somehow way this does make its way to Chantel and Ryan, if they genuinely want to come on the show and they want to talk it out, I'm all for it. I can't imagine they would. This isn't a ploy to make them do that, but I mean, if they genuinely want to, and or they want to set up a podcast in the first episode, want to throw me through the fucking mud, it's fine. I'll help him set it up. I told him I would before when he wanted to make a podcast, and I never got a chance to help him with it. So if he needs help with that, I'll set it up still. But yeah, the offer's there, guys. So if you feel like it, and you want to stream from London, and we'll make the time work and talk it out, and it'll be fine. And
I'll still be rocking Halo.
And like I said, I love them. They're friends of mine. They're great fucking people. They really are. I think the whole thing is like a gigantic misunderstanding that got way too far, and it is a little ridiculous probably on both people's ends. I can't say that I'm not totally at fault about it, that's for sure. But yeah, if you guys made it this far and you feel like talking it out, I'm all ears. So that's it. That's all I got to plug is that. What about you, Jason? Anything there before we go?
To plug? I got nothing, man. Nothing to plug. Thanks for watching the show. That's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. And then Dave, anything?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, there's nothing going on in the world.
I know. The world is on a standstill.
Can't really plug music.
Yeah, not at all. Really.
Well, check out Baron Air, guys, and Warforged and Roman Ring and Something Is Waiting. Something Is Waiting's got something cooking right now. We're pretty stoked on. I can't really talk too much about it right now, but stoked. We're gonna be something. I don't actually know the dates of certain things, but stuff's around the corner, guys. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep an eye out on Something Is Waiting, and then we've had a lot of but we've had a lot of merch stuff popping up, like bandanas and shirts and all those fun designs. So yeah, if you can, check that out, and I don't know, buy a shirt, buy a record. The first record has been re-released and it's on Spotify, and it's been remixed, remastered by Pete Grossman, and it sounds fucking awesome. So yeah, check that out, guys. And yeah, we'll see everybody next week. I don't know who our guest is going to be, but yeah, as always, it's always fun. Thank you guys, and bye.
Did I do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what am I doing again?
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.
Hit the like or subscribe.
Thanks for watching Nothing's for No One podcast. Like, subscribe. What's other things you could do on those things? Comments. Patreon.
We don't have that.
Patreon.
You should.
Okay.
Share.
Okay.
Tell your mom, your dad,
Okay.
your uncles, your aunts,
All right.
grandma, grandpas,
Their dogs.
their dogs,
Pets.
cats,
Gerbils. Ferrets.
ferrets,
Everything.
chameleons.
No, not Chameleon's name.
Just listen to the show, baby. The greatest thing that's happened in America. This is making America great again right here.
It's doing something all right. I'll tell you
Nothing's
that
for
much.
no one. No pedos in this building.
Perfect.
We're just fucking people over 18, baby. Just young, but still legal, you know? Right at the cusp. The cutting edge of fucking sex. 18. The bleeding
All
edge.
right.